Okay, I appear to be live. Before I do anything else, I'm going to get my throat lozenges. And this is where I discovered that I left my throat lozenges at work, like an idiot. So I will have to rely on good old appley juice to keep my throat okay. Trying to be better about muting and non-unmuting myself when I'm about to cough or something similar. Or sneeze or etc. Anyway, my bot's posted, so I'm going to assume that means I am properly live. Hello guys, and welcome to this week's Indie Thursday stream. My brain just short-circuited there. After a brief break last week, we are picking up where we left off near the end of the Banner Saga. I'm not sure how long it's going to take us to finish this, but I do know that we are near the end, so to put a pushpin in this one, this stream is going to be my last stream of the Banner Saga, which is sad, but all things must end, including, sadly, this truly brilliant, wonderful series of games that I love to pieces. Anyway. Sorry, I have a like a little button that I can press that I have a fancy new Stream Deck, and it has a little button I can press that takes me into gameplay, but the problem is gameplay doesn't always remember to pick up the game at first. Anyway. Let's head back in. And always let me know if the game's too quiet or too loud. You find Zephyr near the keep, where she's preparing the menders. She turns as you approach. Captain Petrus, I told everyone to stop fighting. My friend is hurt badly. You have to do something, please. The stone guard who joins you near the gates has been carrying the body. He leans over to show Zephyr. This is a bit of a recap. We did see this last stream, but wanted to, well, I had to leave off where I was. There was no clear, like, point of a break, so Zephyr shakes her head. I'm sorry. Even the Valkyr should not meddle with the dead. Sorry. How did it happen? This has been coming since Maynolf died. I regret I could not have come sooner, but many more are about to die. Listen carefully. I devised a shield of light that holds back the darkness, but its reach is limited. With the Mentors joining their efforts, we may be able to encircle all of Arbrang. It will mean position them evenly across the walls, and if madmen are running wild in the streets, killing indiscriminately, I'll make sure that doesn't happen. Oddly, I'll have Rook taken somewhere safe, just until we can pay our respect properly. You nod, numb. How long can you keep the spell of light going, Valka? Assuming the plan works at all, perhaps if we rest in shifts. A number of days. Depends on our food supplies and stopping the warp from slaughtering our menders. They told me you fought off asunder. No small thing, but that'll be nothing compared to what's coming. What do the warped even want with Arbrang? As far as I can tell, only mindless death and destruction. It is why I wanted the dredge inside the walls. And the other Valka, Juno and Ivan, they can stop all of this? We crossed paths. They continued into the darkness. If they're going where I think they're going, and if they actually make it, there is hope. But none of it matters unless we get these menders safely on the walls. Lead a group of Zephyr's menders towards the gates where the fighting is worst. The darkness is already drawing close, throwing Sit into the air. You push into the fray to clear space for the menders to do their work. Men fight dredge, men fight men. The fighting curls around you like wildfire until you're engulfed in it despite your best efforts. One bare-chested, shrieking madman charges at you, but is crushed into the dirt by the heavy stone bludgeon of a nearby colossus. The stone guard stares at you, past you. Bloodied men encircle you like vultures, screeching trill insults. Traitors! Raven starvers! The stone guard nods some kind of understanding. It seems to recognise you too. This is more or less where we missed off last time, so... God, I really can't believe that that's it. As potentially, like, dumb as that sounds, like... I can't... There's just this bit of me that really can't believe it. Or, you know, perhaps doesn't want to believe it. What do I want to give you? Give you the mountain. Okay. Nope. Oh, you have points available? Oh, fuck. There we go. I don't know what happened there as being dumb is what happened. Right, who's got levels? Hakon. Come on. My mouse seems to be having some hashtag issues. And I don't like it. You know what? I'll promote you twice. There we go. I don't have anything nice to give you, but I'll promote you. I think everyone else requires a level up. There's nobody who's got points that I can spend. Nope, they all do need a level up. I'm not really ready for battle, but let's do this. I am going to turn my mouse speed up a little bit. I think I may have accidentally turned it down on my computer at some point. Right, I want... Okay, never mind. Okay, no. I want to move you here. And you here. Move you this way. Because we're going to have a sort of pronged approach. I think we have to try and remember to keep the menders, like, not being attacked. Upstairs neighbour says thump thump, by the way. What she says, get good. Eat my ass. Arse. I was about to say arse eaten and I was like, that's not quite the meaning I'm looking for, but you know. Yeet. Yeet. Yeah, good fucking luck, bitch. Have the menders just mending for now. Can you keep them here? Out of the line of fire. Keeping our friends alive. Shit. But 'twas I who got the tinnitus and probably ate shit. I need to experiment with his abilities. Look after friend, who will then beat this person up. Dope. What was that achievement for? At least one human, horseborn Val, and Dredge in the fight. Sick. I did that accidentally, but I like it. Me getting confused whenever I get an achievement. Get those menders up on the walls, Petra shouts to his guards, and keep everyone else away. The stone guard follows you like a lost puppy, scaring any stragglers fighting away from the walls. Petra's guards escort rattled menders, closing the gap. Zephyr vaults from the ground on a gust of air, soaring to meet them. The darkness touches the crackling walls, oozing over the edges. Wicked shapes titter and lurk on the other side, just beyond the sight. Menders, shouts Zephyr. Now! God, I love the style of this game so much. With a mighty grief that I missed the name of the chapter. The caravan fell silently in absolute darkness until he lost all sense of time and place. Before hallucination and madness set in, he felt Juno's touch pull you into sleep state and protect you from the worst of it. Now dim light finally reveals the approaching ground like islands rising from the midnight sea. Nobody talked about the loss of Volca in that time, but the memory of her fell alongside everyone. Touching ground now feels like moving on. Walking feels like you've never done it before. This is the inner earth, Juno tells everyone. This is a cave, grumbles Ollie. I'm not impressed. In the gloom, Juno looks absolutely ghostly, beckoning you to follow. Reserve judgment till we emerge. The Mender's light plays tricks with the crags. Shadows dance across sharp edges and distended cavities. Oh, hey, someone sighs almost apologetically. I may have a problem. Ditch is sitting on the ground. He appears to be missing a leg, but at second glance it's been swallowed up by a deep, narrow hole. The floor is riddled with them like a coral reef. Ow, he continues. Ow, ow, but Ollie claps a hand over his mouth. You all hear it nearby, scraping on stone. Through stone. Drag Ditch out of the hole as quickly as possible. Ditch screams and blood flushes through the hole like a drain. You expect to see a stump, but instead there's a trough carved into his leg by the rock's floor's radial edges. He'll live, probably. Shields, you shout, as creatures rumble out of the darkness. I like how chill he is. He's just like, I've got some bad news for you guys. I've got some potential issues. Okay, well I can't afford to level anyone up, so let's do this. What was the last achievement I got? It came a long way. I can't read the... Reached the end of chapter 20 with 200 clansmen. Nice. Tough it out, Ditch. Okay, nope, I definitely know that I can't do that. Now I know. So I have to waste time moving. Which is really annoying. Stop doing that, you shit-eaters. I have to say, I do really like the music here at the moment. Big F. Okay. I feel like we've got a handful of dredge here, so move you there. Means that next time you will explode, which is good. I can move you here now. Which isn't that good for now, but it'll be helpful later. Fuck. And shit. Balls. I don't like the blood that's dripping on people. It's bad. And I would like for it to not happen, please. ass and tits. To need to deal with that guy soon. Fuck off. I feel like I'm here like stop blowing holes in my ship, except it's instead me going stop hurting my friends, or else. Okay. You're going to move here. You're going to destroy this man. I'll see you. Get fucked. Get fucked. My entire arse. Never mind. I guess I'll eat my own entire arse. As it were. The thing faded before you drained my willpower, you piece of shit. Dope. I had the terrible sad thought, which is that I kind of, if Ivor dies, I hope there is a heaven so that he can just go hang out and they'll have fun. Oh man, it's been 2 weeks and I remembered that bit of the scene, and it hurts. A sour smell fills the air, acid vomited forth by digging things. Warriors brag about the hard battles they fought, but no one will be bragging about this. I'm regretting this already, says Valgard, examining a limp tentacle. Courage, replies Juno. We'll see stranger things, Lamau, before we're done. This cave isn't only an entrance the Valkyr use. Each of the towers in the north is a different entrance to the inner earth. It used to look a little different before the darkness. God, I love... I love the design of this game so much. The white tower crouches in the distance, small against the vastness of the inner earth. You feel tired just thinking about the march to come. That tower is our only goal now. The thing sounds out like blood on slow. It doesn't belong here, does it? No, but it was built by the Alka. It's where Ivan and I will undo this. What is that enormous dome lying behind it? A fallen sun. And when do you plan to explain any of this? There may come a point where I have little choice. That point is not now. It will not be a short conversation or a happy one. Speaking of unhappy things, I can sense the loss of Volker as a dire blow to the Ravens. It may be wise to try and keep their spirits up. And I'm afraid there's something else you should know. As we felt I could feel a change, an arb rang. No! Is Rick alright? Can you tell? The days are numbered. We no longer have the luxury of not knowing. Every single day we lose is another day our brand may fall. Enough talk then. No, just tell him. Tell him that Rook's dead. Gods, I can't see the ceiling. There's no ceiling. We're inside the world. Did it always look this dead? No, this place used to be full of life. The caravan moved slowly, taking in the strangeness of the place. What did it look like before the darkness, you wonder? Ditch trips over his own feet again. Thought you were supposed to be the sneaky one, Spar mumbles, but he's not doing much better. Ivan shakes his head. You aren't used to being here. It will pass. You ignore the bittering that follows. Everyone seems a bit testy. Others complain of dizziness and nausea and swear the ground is rotating until you're forced to stop. Spar solicits for a new hat. Short rest. Ollie's feet are propped up on a rock with a flask in his hand before you finish speaking. His smile dares you to say something, but you think twice on it. A short while later, the ravens are reluctantly ready to move again. Shit. Hello? Are you talking to me? Damn it, every time. I need a better introduction. Dirch continues as you walk, stumbling over his own awkwardness as he goes. Anyway, listen, this is going to sound weird, but I'm going a bit loopy cooped up with these people. I can see that. And everyone keeps threatening me with death if I don't leave them alone. Join the Ravens, I thought. Why not? Where else would be safer? Look at this. This is the least safe place. Yes. I know I'm supposed to be the quiet guy, right? Everyone thinks I'm sneaky. Well look, I'm only sneaky because nobody notices me. Does it ever get to you, being ignored all the time? No, that doesn't... I get chatty when I'm nervous. I hate this place. I hate being stuck in a bubble like a fish. Fish don't get stuck in Ditch continues babbling at you while you walk. I listened to Ditch talk about his childhood, and I knew something was up the first time I saw something. It was fruit. Like a whole basket of fruit. And the basket, that's the only reason anyone noticed. A ton of fruit was suddenly gone. So the fruitmonger shouts for guards. Fruitmonger? Whatever. Anyway, the guard walks right past me. He bumps into my shoulder, doesn't even turn around. Those guards all run me, running, stopping other people, never even look at me, and I'm holding this basket of fruit. And it's kind of insulting, to be honest. Is it my face? Do I look like a leper or something? But now I'm wondering what else I could get away with. Taking jewellery, sleeping in the King's Keep, murder? Turns out I've gotten away with a lot of murder. By the gods, 15 years now if you count my stint in regional theatre. Harder work getting in theatre. Always in the background, right? No surprise. I did a little carpentry for them, actually. Lots of furniture. The secret is you rub vinegar into the wood. That was about just when I just gave up and started working for myself. The only honest money I ever made was selling a song I wrote about chicken. Killed that guy later. Hunted him down and stabbed him in the face. Nobody's called me back for him since, but now I'm stuck on a ship, months out to sea, right? Lots of our stuff keeps happening out on these ships, I can tell you. Debauchery. Made me think twice about going completely nude when we stopped at those hot springs. I still did, but you know what I'm saying. Ignore Ditch until he leaves you alone. And I get the feeling they think I'm creepy, if they even notice at all. But anyway, now she's in a panic to get all the goats back in their pen. Everybody's looking. Then her husband starts screaming at me. Freak, big-nosed freak. Maybe we should keep it down. That's rough, you know. You ever had somebody scream freak at you? Freak! The last shout echoes noticeably. Shortly after, you spot movement. The ravens curse Ditch as they draw their weapons. How is this my fault? We're glowing like a frickin' sun festival down here. Stop shouting, Ditch. Oh, I liked him all the way up until now. But also, that's a big mood. Get up here, castaway. Do I have enough to promote you? I do. Whoops. Resume. There you go. I can give that one to Castaway. And I'm going to take Apostate back out because I don't like him that much. I'm going to take Juno back in. What's this one? Use items and heroic titles to have 3 passive abilities and 1 character. Okay, hand. Nice going, Ditch. This is my fault? I like that this is basically the upside down. Okay. I think I see. Sort of. These are a lot of bad boys. Stabby. Love to stab. Fuck off. I'm gonna summoneth a friend. Egg. Ah, yes. You could have done that, you piece of shit, but whatever. my ass. Fuck. Piss. Piss, bollocks, and fuck. Where I basically just yell at, stop fucking doing that forever. Fuck. And don't want you know in my party. I mean, in general, I do, but in this particular place, she's kind of useless. Up there, and I'm not sure how I did manage to do that exactly. Oh, I see. Watch out, Gino. Him out. Go. Go. Softly, but with feeling. Eat my entire ass. Fuckballs. Piss fuckballs. This is bad. I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I get the distinct impression that we're supposed to lose this. Because there's only now 3 of us left. And there's really not much that we can do. I messed up there. That's one dead at least. Fuck. What? Oh, I see. I see what happened. It doesn't make it any less terrifying, but I do see what happened. Miss. It's a ghost, invisible and vulnerable to enemies. She can move and she can collect the phantom dark energy that are visible. More power. Okay, I see. Well, it's now unfortunately time for me to eat shit and die. But you know. I lived a good life while I was going. Yep. I got the distinct feeling that was intended to happen. You can't afford to keep getting into battles like this, and you all know it. Can't believe you almost died because of fucking ditch, Spar says. Juno spins by Avon. You see both seem fine and are trying to ease the Raven's wounds. Warped dredge corpses lie around you in piles. Love those tentacles. Across colossal cliffs, you spy countless pockets carved into the stone. Those are the sculptor's homes, Alfred points out. The massive web of stairs and chambers must have been from a beehive of activity before the dredge fled from the darkness. Don't move, Alfred says, pressing her back to the stone. The ravens do the same. Beyond the monolith floats an immense creature, all tentacles and eyes swimming in the air. What in the depths is that, you whisper? A victim, Alfred says, accusingly, aimed at the Valka. You've heard of enormous monsters crawling from deep within the earth, but this one has been twisted horrifically by the darkness. Ravens worry that the dredge will draw its attention, even from this distance. Hide within a dredge dwelling until it passes. The thing meanders to and fro, sometimes bumping and sliding into walls. After long observation, you believe that its many eyes have been made useless. The caravan then leaves with haste, and you feel a twinge of pity for the mangled thing. Yes. bad news, guys. Well, really, the caravan enters a field of tall grass, or as Owen tells you, something more akin to seaweed. You wouldn't call it that anymore. The grass blades are now ebony raged corkscrews that bite at your skin, pulled waist high, and go on as far as the eye can see. They break easily enough, Valgard says, shattering a cluster with a loud smack from his shield. Yeah, and the sound will bring everything that isn't already looking in our direction, replies Ollie, rubbing a stinging cut on his arm. We've got a long way to go, you say, so let's come to some agreement here. Keep up your pace and tough it out. No slowing down, you say. The going is painful and miserable, and when the grass finally begins to thin, you notice the rest is sporting dozens of fresh, paper-thin lacerations. The Valka do their best to ease the pain. Tough shit, guys. We would have had much worse if we tried to wait. We've only got 4 days of provisions left. After that, we'll have to start eating people. I tested a game for a friend that had a very similar mechanic, so I've got that on the brain. The ground begins to crinkle softly beneath your feet. Others notice it too. Juno hums a soft lullaby and a nebula of lights drift from her staff like a campfire embers, reflecting off a plane of tinted glass that sprawls out ahead in every direction. Ice, Ivan says, or it once was. I can't be sure what the darkness has done to it. Unlike the jagged shale you've tramped so far, it lays in geometric patterns of flat plains, some hanging curiously in the air. Valgard dares a short slide onto it, saying, "Same solid enough." Spread out in single file and push onto the ice. One good mistake deserves another, mutters Ollie. One, replies Spar, sliding onto the ice. It withstands their weight as well as their skepticism. Step lightly. The ice may hold, but let's not test it. I swear something is moving beneath us. It was an ocean. Surely there are many things still there. Some bigger than others. Then maybe we should keep quiet. Or not, as the case may be. Juno grips her staff tightly, hands trembling. You've never seen that. She speaks low over her shoulder, but you hear it clear as a bell. No matter what happens now, protect Ivan. What about you? There is no saving me. The serpent speaks. You don't understand its words, but you get the tone. Juno shouts back, and you understand her perfectly well. You failed again and again. You won't succeed this time. The serpent rears up as it responds, until only wildly coiling loops of ragged monstrous scales can be seen in the light. It means to shatter the ice. Go! The serpent strikes like a whip, snapping up Juno between its jaws and slams its head into the ice wildly, unconcerned for itself. Juno somehow weaves patterns with broken arms, the ice beneath your bucks. Suddenly it occurs to you that Juno is taking control of something deep beneath your feet, and it's approaching fast. Go! She screams once more. Ivan freezes. You throw him over your shoulder and run, just as the ice groans the splinters from another impact, snapping like bear traps. Ravens scatter in terror. Jeez. Fucking Christ. Gods, the ash. Can't see a damn thing. Just keep going. Is everyone here? You shout. Ravens rub soot from their faces and cough into their hands. Thick blast dust haunts the air, kicked up by the Leviathan's thrashing. I can see her, Ivan shouts. A globe of light detaches from the convulsing silhouette of the serpent, blazing through the air and crashing like a meteor far in the distance. Ivan darts ahead with his own light, the rest follow. You crawl through curtains of dust. It's suddenly dark as a moonless night. Juno's light dims and winks out. Hurry, shouts Ivan. Soon you admit it's impossible to know if you're heading the right direction anymore. Ivan begins to panic. Methodically comb back and forth as you go. You sweep the area, leaving markings as guideposts. It's frustratingly slow. Hold, Ali passed after a long silence. Shapes ahead shamble towards you. Yes. Fuck, shit, balls, and piss. Fuck, shit, balls, shit. I see something. I think we found her. We're not the only ones. Okay. Eat my ass. Eat my dick. Eat shit. You do that now. Get a nice easy kill out of the way. Haha! Fuck. Tits. I can see that shadow growing, and I'm here to tell you that I'm not happy about it. I don't like it, thank you. I'd argue that it's very bad and should be stopped ASAP. Ha, bitch. Excellent critage. Yeet.
entire arse. Arc lightning. Abilities. Arc lightning on you. A whole bunch of this. Just gonna kill you all. What I'm gonna do is truly try my hardest to ruin your day. You two. Let's fucking do it. He's gonna burrow in a minute, but that's okay. Shitballs. Right. Well, I'll do that in a minute. That should... No, not quite. But fuck. You... do this though. I might get a crit out of it, which would be nice. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'll send you round here. Start ruining these guys' day. Good, nice. Quick and easy kill, just what I like to see. Shitballs. And also, fuck. I really should have used that before, but you know, I live to make my own mistakes. Egg. It's egg time. Eggs for the egg gods. I meant to mend. Yeah, I got too spicy. Shit, piss bug. Come on, there we go. Bollocks. Well, it's time for a much cheaper prepare to die edition, I guess. I'm gonna lose this fight. I can feel it in my bones. The issue is this is not one I was supposed to lose, I don't think. Ah. What? This is bad and I am unhappy about it. This is really bad. Fuck me. Fuck. I really don't think I'm supposed to survive this one. Fuck. No. No. Nope. I'm not surviving this one. you can, but this ain't it, Chief. Well, yep, nope. Nope. I really do get the feeling I wasn't supposed to survive that one. Or I should have fled, really. Fleeing is what I should have done. You gasp in the suffocating darkness. The golden glow from your eyes winks out. Feels like drowning in a dark black abyss. Visions pass behind your eyes, thoughts of Juno in strange shapes and ideas of dreaming. How long have you been down here? And then you gasp and pain returns to your limbs. You briefly wonder if this is the afterlife until you hear Spar mumble, "How am I still not dead?" Ash hangs heavily in the air as Ivan cradles the body of Juno, a soft glow surrounding her. The warp are nowhere to be seen. The survivors glance amongst each other. You find Juno's body lying out in the ice, but she is mangled, barely recognisable, grotesque. No coming back from that. If the serpent in the fall didn't kill her, the slag did. Not to mention she's just been laying out in the darkness. Who knows how long? This is the end, isn't it? We failed. What do we do? We finished what we came to do. This is not the end. Ivan's face and voice are expressionless, but tears streak his cheeks. We take her to the White Tower. Ivor, please pick her up. It doesn't sound like a request. Well. Darkness lurches upon the dome of light, stretched then above the city by menders weaving fast stitches. Riots ripple through sender spaces between people packed tightly together, and the warp look at your defences, testing them. It finally sinks in just how many dead rest in Arborang now. This really is the beginning of the end, isn't it, you grieve? Aleo says, the longship's finally sinking, so to speak. All's left to do is bail till our arms grow weak. You feel those old, nagging survival needs scratching at your thoughts. Food, water, shelter. I feel like I could level up some of the other guys, but I'm going to focus on getting the ones that I use a lot up. I don't think I can afford anyone else. Nope. It came from all parts of Arbrang, carrying their dead. An enormous longship. The king won't be needing it anymore. Sorry, just smacked my bike accidentally. Was hoisted up onto the Black Rock plateau. Never mind the hassle, this is tradition. Arranged within the longship, many hundreds of bodies rest, ready for the afterlife, ready for peace amongst the stars. The struggles are over. You hear all this from an orator declaring the last rites, preparing to set the longship ablaze. Rook looks at peace amongst them, almost fitting that he is just one of many. There's such a thing as heartbreaking. You breathe heavily, but refuse to cry. It would be a selfish sorrow. The fires are lit, and special bundles laid along the ship's edge tint the flames in different colours, a gleaming rainbow raising towards the sky and a bridge for brave souls. You imagine the ship drifting out to sea as the fire burns low. The solemn audience begin to pile stones and soil atop to form the traditional tumulus. Give a speech to your caravan. Those who knew and believed in your banner, you raise it high. The exact words drift from your thoughts as soon as they're said, but the rest of the caravan graciously cheers the ending. The gods would weep if we did not outlive them, and we outlive them still. Now it is we who speak for the dead, the names and their deeds, and gods be damned, they will not be forgotten. Alea rests, puts his hands on your shoulders. His eyes are red, some combination of drinking and grieving, but there is a smile upon his lips. I can only imagine how hard all this must be for you. I obviously didn't know Rook as well as you, but it hurts my heart that he's gone. Still, I can't stay sad. Where I look, I don't see dead. I see all those who live on instead. Aleo stands beside you, deep in thought. Do you think this is my fault? You mean Rook? I even asked him if I was pushing things too hard, then I went and did it anyway. I killed him. Did you? It wasn't the one throwing the spear or the one inciting the crowd. The clansmen who stood by and did nothing. The ones in dark armour outside the gates, or the ones who set this calamity in motion. It wasn't the gods or fate or chance. It was just you. I wish I didn't play any part at all. Everyone who knew them played a part, and knowing them was our great privilege. I've no words to soothe this pain, but we'll get through the worst of it. You can't help yourself from rhyming, can you? Aleo looked slightly embarrassed, as if you caught him indulging in a vice. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't come off as disrespectful with what I said. I have a hard time putting it to bed. When I was a boy, my grandmother was a famous hero in our small town. I was in awe of her. She claimed the gods never died, that they still spoke through her. Others would come from far to hear their fate or feel close to them. Sometimes I listened to the walls of the amazing things she told these people, even though it was forbidden. She knew. Before she died, she told me a secret. She said she made it all up. I got upset. I called her a fraud. But then she explained that just because she made it up doesn't mean it was real. The stories we tell are just as real as all the things we see and feel, she said. Then she died. I remember those last words clear as a bell, and I began to make up stories of my own. Eventually it became hard not to see the world as a story. And you're always writing one in your head. When I felt afraid or upset as a child, it helped me to imagine myself as someone else reading my story. Like the gods were looking down and seeing that I can create things as well. Anyway, I'm sorry about all the rhymes. I'll try to keep them to more appropriate moments. I guess it's time we moved on. I suppose we must. The mender should be left under the walls, and there's already a murmur spreading through the clans of not enough food to go around. Sometimes it feels like too much. The true hero comes reluctantly. If we move now with shuffling feet, our hearts will never be incomplete. This game makes me feel things I wasn't prepared to feel. No, I'm not going to use them. I'm actually going to promote Hack On. I'm going to... Never mind, I can't afford Canary. Menders are spread out evenly amongst the walls, each overlapping the light created by the next. Guards with distant expressions stand between them. Around their fields are piles of warped dredge and men alike. They're starting to scale over the bodies on the other side of the wall, says Zephyr, some small disgust in her voice. As if to prove the point, Amanda yells when more warped rise into view. Hurry, beckons Zephyr.
I hate it. Thanks. I really, really hate it. I'm sorry, Petrus. Get good, dude. Oops. Oh, I got pinged in Discord, it's fine. Easier said than done. Hulk's in distress. Right, what are your abilities like? Hell yeah. Pain-bringing time, my friends. To do that knockback thing. That was really cool. This is a really bad fight to have brought primarily fuck. This was shit tits.
thank you. I can move you forward and make brain. Couldn't have crit just once. Almost done. Not as bad as it could have been. Much as I would have liked to get some more reinforcements. Aggressively yelling eat shit at every enemy. This is fine. Herself, sadly. So I have a new tattoo, by the way, and it's peeling. It's in that crappy peeling stage. And I feel like the rest of my arm is now, like, itching in sympathy, which is odd. Sometimes I have to wonder about humanity. We're barely holding the walls, and all the clans can manage us to rob and kill each other. Captain, my men does need more protection on the walls. You have as many men as we can spare, Valka. The rest are in the streets. Our brang isn't worth saving if only killers and thieves remain. Even if when my father were here, he'd have little control over the city now. I have even less, but I'm certain I can find men loyal to my father's banner. Put me in command on the walls. Are you certain? I can guarantee no safety here. If there is a time for me to lead, it is now. They look to you. You realise that whoever is put in charge of the walls may be in serious danger. The walls are yours, Luden. Your father would be proud. My father was a lot of things, but proud of a son is not one of them. I'll send word to loyal men and keep the menders standing. F. Big F. I'm sorry, Luden. This is your fate now.
I wonder if there's anything in the shop that's 14 that I could give. What do we got? Shit, well, nothing we can afford. Part of the city smoldered since the riots, matching the mood in the lower rings. Supplies are scattered, impossible to tally your portions since the funeral. Hoarding seems necessary for the future, and you're afraid all other clans in Arborang will feel the same. If nothing else, we should set the precedent from here on out. Combine and ration the remaining food tightly. Trust overcomes. Some are relieved to place that burden on you, others insist on keeping a watchful eye on the stockpile. Funeral, ration dwindling supplies. Would have fought at the wars. 8 more days remain. Ravens swear they see figures lurking from the corners of their eyes and hear the whispers of dead family members. Some accuse the corpse of Juno, others the ominous pillars have been rising on the horizon. The dredged godstone, Ivan tells them. Rises like teeth from the hungered wolf's maw, Swell sings. Swallows brave men in the bright Dune Star. An old song from before the gods died. Fitting, ambling through tall pillars like teeth, an obsidian forest wreathing the great black godstone. If my dead mother appears, I'm ending things here and now. If your dead mother appears, you began. But Ollie stares murder at you and the joke curdles in your mouth. Spark uckles like a mad hen. Nobody else dares. Could have gone worse. I tried, dog, I tried. What's this one? It's worth the trek across the frozen sea. I've got lots of renown to spend if I ever get a chance to spend it.
We push on, despite hope being lost, along with Juno, to something black and heavy ahead. Did the dredge build godstones of their own, or
They
is
did,
this something else?
and hope is not lost yet, Ivor.
You jerk and tear at Juno's voice in your head and her hand lightly squeezing your shoulder. She breathes softly. Well done. You can put me down. Nerves get the best of even the bravest. Not another step, shouts Ollie. He pushes away to Juno. You died. Not another step till you spill it. All of it. A chorus of the voices concur, echoing off the pillars themselves. Juno sags upon her staff. She looks at Ivan, but his stare is leagues from here. All will be well, she stares, but jerks back from Ollie's axe blade at her neck. No more magic tricks. Ollie hisses. Encourage Juno to answer. You're right, says Juno. It's time you all knew.
This will be more easily shown than told. Valka were the first to discover a world within our world. The inner earth, with its own lands, people, and sun. A source of power far greater than our own. Ivan was the leader of the Valka, brilliant, born with a mind devouring itself. I studied in secret to heal those wounds, and in time, we grew to love each other. But meddling with minds is forbidden, for reasons already clear to you. The council sentenced me to death. They agreed to spare Ivan the same fate if I went willingly. So I did. When Ivan discovered what had happened, he carried my body to the White Tower. In his grief, he drained the Black Sun of its energy, hoping to restore my life. The sun fell from the sky, ripping chasms through both worlds. The serpent slithered out from its shattered egg, half-born, and the darkness within spread. I had become the new vessel for its power. When we reach the White Tower, and Ivan releases my energy, the sun will move again, and the darkness will return to where it belongs.
I kind of suspected a lot of this already, but still. Shivers down my spine. As Juno releases her grip over the caravan, the images fade. Ivan carried me all the way back to Ridgehorn before he could go no further. That's where Hakon's warriors found us. They understandably believed I was dead and left me there. Ivan still lived, if only barely. By the time he awoke, the Varl had taken him most of the way to Einatoft. When I realised what had happened, I travelled by ship downriver to meet Ivan at Sigerholm, but the Serpent's Chasm has prevented this. I believe you know the rest. I'm certain you have many questions. I will answer them clearly. This goes back all the way to the time of the gods? This can become long and complicated. I'll keep it simple. The Loom Mother first discovered weaving, and with it created this world and those living on it. The other beings in the tapestry, other gods, reacted in many different ways. Some wanted to learn weaving, and they took the creations she made and changed them, forming Val and Horseborn. One became jealous. He took mankind, reshaping them into dredge and hid them within the world to grow and torment the other creations. When the Loom Mother learned of this, she became furious. As she had discovered creation, she had also unwittingly created death and accidentally killed the jealous god in anger. The other gods were terrified. They'd never imagined not existing. They turned on each other out of fear. The gods died, but their creations continued on. The Valka were the Loom Mother's favoured few. She taught them weaving. Ivan denied descendants of those first people. What does the serpent have to do with this? I'll admit, even I was uncertain until recently, but the easiest way to understand it is to imagine an egg. The serpent's egg was made inside this inner earth, a black sun mirroring our own. Within it, a serpent would grow slowly over the ages. It was put here to eventually swallow the Loom Mother's creations, a cruel trick to destroy them in secret. When the black sun fell to earth, it cracked. The serpent and its power spilled out well before its time. Everything happening now is because of petty grudges between the gods. In a way, Ivan unwittingly did us all a favour. If the serpent had grown to full size, well, at least as things are now, there may be a chance to reverse it. I'm not exactly bursting with gratitude at the moment. Understandable. If the dredge were taught by the Valka, why are they attacking us? The Stone Singers believe we have betrayed them. Early on we discovered that the Black Sun was a far greater source of power than our own. After the worst of the Great Wars, everyone believed the Valka utterly defeated the dredge. In truth, we offered them peace. In exchange for use of the sun's power, we showed them how to flourish within their own lands and create more of their own kind. So you created the Stone Singers? In a way, beyond the shared knowledge, it has always been a difficult question of how much control to exert. But now they believe we caused this destruction on purpose. They think that we wish to wipe them out, and like anyone would, they fight back. They're scared and frenzied and will not listen. We have failed them as much as we failed everyone else. I've heard enough. What now? Now we return to the source of the power. I am not dead, but neither am I alive. The energy within me was stolen. Everyone will place me within the Black Sun. The celestial fears will circle again, the darkness will be absorbed, and without that, the serpent will wither. She suddenly looks very tired, but tries to smile. You'll be trapped within the sun? I have come to terms with it. Now you know everything. Make sure Ivan does what is right. Ivan, you're going to have to make You're gonna have to make a terrible sacrifice. An enormous bell hangs from the carved stonework, even untouched it hums with a strange deep resonance. Alfred says, the sculptors built this godstone to themselves. They raised bells made of those who passed, so that a part of them lives in the sound of these bells, and they can visit their ancestors this way. Spark crosses his arms. That would explain the spooks. The stone singer approaches the godstone, hands up, shaking his head in warning. He seems to diligently avoid touching anything. At the godstone's centre, an enormous bell dwarfs the other smaller chimes hanging throughout the bell. The bell's handle calls you on a primal level. Are you thinking of ringing it or kissing it? Spar says. I wouldn't do either. Tap the bell with your weapon. This bell? You ask, rapping it lightly. To your surprise, it sounds dull and distant. Weird. Spar braces himself, but nothing happens. At the godstone centre, pull on the rope. The lick and itch or a sneeze or an old memory. Compulsion takes over. The bell swings hard, and that's it. Silence. Then you feel tapping around your feet and see these pebbles scrabbling like insects, and you get the unsettling feeling that the ring is simply too deep for you to hear, but very, very loud. Before the bell swipes back, you grab the clapper to prevent another strike. It comes off in your hand. Like the bell in itself, it's distressingly beautiful and fills you with unease, but you pocket the thing. The ground rumbles now for other reasons, and you instinctively draw your weapon. Piss balls, shit tits. But we got a thing. Okay, castaway. I'm promoting you, baby. Because you're getting this. Let's see, you're replacing Ivan, and you are getting a promotion. No. Oops. Not doing that. Back. You can get a promotion. Bessie, you can get one as well. Okay. Alfred, you're the next person I'm most likely to use, so... In fact, Alfred, you get our last promotion of the day. Let's do this. Ooh, good music. I like it. Next time, don't. Agreed. Okay, but it was worth it for the presents. you're gonna do. There we go. So you're gonna head over this way. And really show this guy who's boss. Don't let them ring that fucking bell. Fuck shit balls and piss. Well. Shit. My ass. Fuck. Really shouldn't have done that. More warps come every time that thing is wrong. Yeah, I fucking know, bro. I'm trying to stop them, but unfortunately I have a terrible case of being bad. Pepperinos. No. Shit. Okay. Nope. The bell is broken and rings no more. Nothing left to ring it now. Well. Guess we've just gotta beat people up now.
fucked that one up. Fucked that up real bad, my friends. As the saying goes, may have boned it. I may have titsed off it. This is fine. .jpg. That was absolutely not where I eat shit and die. I should really have moved away there, but oh well. I accept my fate, and my fate is death. One. Meet me in the pit.
Yeet. My ass, bitch. Fuck yeah. Castaway, baby. Best fucking character in this game. What a fucking monster Castaway is. Yeah, you bet your sweet ass 27 around, and you better believe you're getting all the boons out of that one. Hell yeah! The ringing of that button still echoes in your head and turns into a dull ache in your bones. How about we don't do that again, says Pa, motion to the large trudge pile. We're lucky that's all we faced. At least now we know there aren't any of the other of those things around. Whew. Whew, baby. Castaway, you're the real MVP. I just got an achievement. What achievement did I get? Come on, tell me what it is. Promote a hero to rank 15. Dope. Okay, Ollie. I'm not gonna rest, we can't afford it. I don't care about. You find Ollie at the edge of the light, staring at the godstone. Mind if I join you? Hard to find space around here. Just keep your voice down. The vicious, wrinkled fiffle won't share any of his drink and my head hurts. In distance, Bar takes a moment from lazy tuning his lang spill to throw Ollie a wildly inappropriate gesture. Run out of your own brew? Lost my well when that well thing shattered the frozen ocean. You hear the things coming out my mouth? Sober is no way to live either. Ollie stares blankly into the distance. What's your drink of choice? What's yours, York's milk? Who cares? Ah, never mind me. You know how some men can't handle their drink. I can't handle being dry. Makes my head hurt. Seems like a problem. Never has been before. Who would want to take in all this majesty clearly? I haven't been this sober since I was 13, locked up in a Bursguard cell. Rum's my poison, to answer your question. Believe it or not, I can't even throw these axes worth it damn dry as I am. But get a few drinks in me and I see bright ribbons in the air. Wait, you see lines of light? Damn right, showing me exactly where the axes are going to go. Usually I keep that sort of thing to myself, but what's the point? Ollie, I think you may be spell weaving. Ollie straightens his head back as if startled. What are you talking about? Like the Menders do. Weaving? Like this Niddinger who farts lightning and raises the dead, but only when I'm drunk? And you're just using it to throw things better. Ollie erupts into laughter, loud enough to make even Spar frown. What a time to be alive, eh, Val? I'll drink to that. Don't tease. You pass Ollie a mead horn, his hands shake as he gulps from it greedily. Ollie the Spellweaver. My mum always said I was special. Maybe you're not as bad as they say, Val. Who says that? Just take the victory. That's pretty cool. We haven't got time to rest, I'm afraid, lads. Let's get out of here. Okay. Please, let's make it to the White Tower soon. Prepare to die edition. Ever you've had tasted Tistleberry mead? Spar blurts out in the midst of a deep and oppressive silence. You're all some grim company lately. I could really go for some Tistleberry right now. Others mumble in agreement, but someone passes around enough strong drink to spread around. Soon they're trying to one-up each other about what they plan to do when they return to our rank. Listen to all their stories. As you all know, I don't drink, Ollie smirks, a couple laughs, but I know a place back in Bursguard that'll make you glad to be sober.
Bunch of animals bark outside. I'm going back to put Strand together, see who finds their way back. I had a home there and friends. He gives Ollie a stern look. You don't think with the dread travelling with you understand what's being said, and that's probably for the best. Ditch manages to slip an opinion between the bawdy chatter. I always wanted to. He quickly gets drowned out by the others and slowly mumbles to a stop. Give me a pile of coin when this is all over, big enough to sleep on, Percy says. Been working for others my whole life and it's wearing thin. Think I've earned some easy living. Several ravens toast to this. Ivan mustered the courage to speak up. When this is done, I'll keep my fucking mouth shut, Ollie hollers over him, and the others roar with glee. Ivan's smile vanishes, but even trying to relate may have brought him some goodwill. Max says nothing, but everyone can tell he's thinking about spears. And while Silent Protector Spark quips, he looks at you. What does the great Ingvar dream of in his sleep? Me never beating you bastards in the first place. Is it too late to change my answer to that one? Ollie chirps. The other snort throw rocks at Ollie as they continue on, the tower growing ever closer. Why is it warmer right here? Why does this part look different from the rest? This is... Oh, hold on. Destroying shards of smoky glass jar askew from the ground as I flung here. At first it looks like more of the inner earth strangeness until you realise that those splinters of the black sun. Images reflect off the mirror surface, creating an illusory army of ravens as you walk through. Hold on, Ollie says. Thought this place was bad before. Now there's 6 of ditch. Nauseating sweaty warmth still radiating from the fragments as everyone eager to pass through except Ivan. He has stopped at one with his hand pressed against a glassy surface, looking at his own reflection. Come on, Ivan, it's time to go. I hardly recognise myself. Could be worse. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to compare. The reality of what I must do is sinking in. I'm getting close. Ivan stares out into the distance. Now's not the time for second thoughts. It was always such a long way off. There was more time. Time for what exactly? Ivan sighs heavily. Juno revealed it, but there's something you may not have fully grasped. Something she forbade me to tell you. She worried it might change things. No more secrets. The only way the Black Sun will return to the sky is for Juno to seal the darkness within. So she has to stay there, trapped, for eternity. A fate worse than death, and it was my fault. All she's done since is fight tooth and nail to make things right. All she's ever done. You can see anger spreading across Ivan's face. He almost looks as if he's drawing energy from the sun shard. What if there's another way? Even with the sun broken, there must be enough energy here to destroy the serpent. It might be enough. And it might not. Why shouldn't I try? Why should I be listening to any of you? Ivan, think of your friends in Arbrang. Ivan's mouth becomes a thin line and some of the fire in his eyes goes out. I know. I apologise. My thoughts have never been difficult to control ever since birth. My mother was the head of the Valkyr in her time. When she had a boy, the council was rude. The males of our kind have always had a touch of madness to varying degrees. My father couldn't contain his own. I suppose that kind of power would be hard for anyone. It is a curse. I am only alive at all thanks to Juno, and she has kept the power within me from spilling out. When she spoke to me in a dream in Einatoft, I wasn't even sure it was real. I'd gone so long without her help, I was starting to lose control again. Everything she's done was to heal me, and for that she suffers. Can you imagine feeling so powerful and so weak at the same time? I can imagine. Ivan nods, and you feel you've earned more of his trust. I feel like I'm getting a lot of Ivan will remember this moments at the moment. I'm just going to say it, Spargrasses. I'm starving, and I don't mean it as an expression. So hungry I might die. The caravan is getting precariously low on food, and nobody dares to drink the water that pools in dark crevices. You're filling it yourself. The stone singer seems to understand that you've never seen anything before, scraping a hard bell-shaped object from the cliff walls and handing it to you with a motion like opening a book. I thought that was just more craggy rock, said Spar, taking the thing. It has a hard obsidian shell, but once cracked open, a strikingly pink, bright plant resides within, squishy to the touch. It looks like a mushroom. It doesn't smell strange or even display the same weirdness everything else does. Seems to be quite a few more of those still clinging onto the cliffside. So who's going to try it first? Spar wonders aloud. Ask Varka if it's safe. Alfred speaks up. I've eaten inner earth plants before, she says, but I can't say if the darkness has tainted it. I can help if it makes you sick, though. Probably. It does remind you a bit of a mushroom. Tastes like a mushroom. A couple of minutes later, you're actually feeling a bit stronger. A bit more energized, in fact. The others cautiously gather handfuls and eat as much as they dare. You swear the caravan moves on a little faster than before. I don't like mushrooms, but, you know. Keep a friend company? Alfred beckons during a short rest, patting a lonely rock at the caravan's edge. Instant enough, but you see ulterior motives on her face, bright in the white tower in the distance. You have something on your mind. You, Ivor. It's funny, I should hate you. Many sculptors are my friends, and you are who they tell their children to fear. But I don't hate you. The more I know about you, the more I like you. Is that really what you wanted to talk about? Straight to the point. Ivan and Juno, they trust you, don't they? But I wonder if they have earned your trust. Do they have yours? Of course not. Now Juno, she may be weaving little truths, but step back, look at the whole tapestry. Their will terrible power, perhaps you've noticed? It's exactly why they made the Order of Menders. Ah, look over here, we're only healing the sick, building houses. Pay no mind to the madmen on ivory towers, turning the world inside out. I've considered it. Come closer. I even created a fucking immortal. Can you comprehend? Juno cannot die. But that was their goal, wasn't it? What is immortality without power? Misery. No, I think they are trying to make a god. To make themselves gods. Don't tell me you believe they've come so far just to undo it all. What are you implying? Not to sit it back and let it happen, that should be clear. Say nothing now, I'm not asking you for promises. But a time will come, and soon I think, when you'll see the truth unfolding before your eyes. When that time comes, look to me, trust your instincts. Juno and Ivan are not the only ones who know how to twist the threads. I will make certain what they claim to be doing is what is done. I've got to live here too, you know? I don't know, I trust Ivan, I don't know how much I trust Alfred. We've only just met her. Distant rumbles approaches and all the things that could be race through your mind. Someone shouts, "Earthquake!" as the ground bucks beneath your feet. Violent shaking peels rocks sheets off the nearby cliffs. They crash around you in great billowing clouds of dust. Is everyone alright? You shout in the hiccups. Knew I recognised you from somewhere, Vargard shouts. He's swinging at Ollie with clenched fist. This bastard tried to push me into the falling rocks. As the confusion and the dust clear, frustrated ravens letting off steam with chants of fight. Let Vargard and Ollie resolve this themselves. The fistfight turns vicious. The two continue to trade staggering blows, blooding each other's face until you start to worry someone may die here. Enough, Juno roars, and the fighters fall to the ground holding their heads. I've kept my word to leave your minds untouched, but you will not endanger us over this trifling matter. The victims crawl to their feet, eyes low. The earthquake was no coincidence, Ivan says, changing the subject. Same as when the serpent carved chasms through the earth above. Be on your guard. Stop the caravan. The ravens directly take a moment to catch their breaths. That's Bellower on our heels. We can't just ignore it. We all know how this is going to end. You know what happens if we make a stand against Bellower. If the serpent awaits us at the tower, then we'll have to face it with Bellower at our backs, and that's no option at all. If I'm going to die down here, might as well be against asunder. You won't come back. Who's going to take you there anyway? I'll go. Go where exactly? To speak with Bellower. I can speak to him. Perhaps he'll listen. And I'm the only one who can create my own light. At worst, I can distract them for a moment. At best, maybe we learn something. Something about Alfred's willingness strikes you as odd. She winks slyly. If he doesn't want to talk, won't be the first time I've vanished without a trace. We'll meet up again up the road. I'm not going to be able to talk you out of this, am I? No, but maybe you have a message you want me to deliver? Tell him I'm sorry. Interesting. I'll try to be convincing. Alfred conjures a light of her own. Juno watches but makes no move to stop her. I do like Alfred and I hope she survives. So these cliffs were the homes of the dredge? Because I'm starting to see a lot of movement ahead. Are Whatever you do, Ditch, don't scream. This time the shifting shadows in the corners of your eyes are real, ahead and behind. The others have noticed in a quick look, quietly pulling blades, flickering like a school of fishes pressed together. The earth shaking howl echoes of stones still surrounding you. Bellower somewhere out there, fiercely seen against your will. They're all warped everywhere, clustered together to slow your progress, and more dot the horizon. We're so close, says Valgard, and you know his frustration. Charge and break through the crowd. What are we waiting for, you shout? An invitation from Bellower? Push through! This is a terrible idea, but it's the best we have. Let's do it. Castaway, please save us if we need it. You're the best one amongst us. Eat my ass. God, I hate those weird tentacles. They're so bad. Weird and bad, and I don't like them. Piss. Fuck off. Eat a dick. Seem to be doing okay, even though you're a bit sober. Shit. Yay! Hi, Pixie Pix! I hope you're doing well. I'm trying my hardest. And sometimes that's really all you can do. I've been, like, dying and failing a lot, but I am trying.
That. Clears us out a little bit. Then I want you to move here. We're all gonna try and gang up on this dude. Do this. That's not gonna help, but you know, it was worth trying. Stop doing that, you piece of shit. Hey, you know, dude, bad move, because now we're all coming for you. There we go. Tasty. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Ooh. The warped are becoming more relentless. You're still out there, you say, unnerved that something as massive as Bellower can slip secretly through the darkness. You rub your sore neck as you step quickly over warped bodies. Keep your eyes open. So, Pixie, this is going to be a bit of a longer stream than usual because I'm pushing through and I am planning to finish this game. We're going to see it through to its end. As little as that may be. If our Brang's story is written on a tapestry, the edges are becoming frayed. The menders are dying, a few to the warp, a couple to stray arrows and mad revolters, one to exhaustion. Zephyr pulled them back to the next set of walls. The noose tightens. Not everybody survived the scramble to safer ground, and you can see the lurching bodies of the fallen just beyond the black veil. Gone, but not dead. Hogan has propped himself up in a shield to keep from slumping over, but he stands as you approach. Don't stand on my account. You're looking rough around the edges. Oh, sorry, Pix. It was just basically all I was saying, that I'm going to have a bit of a longer stream today because I'm pushing through to the end of this game as much as possible. Speak for yourself. I'm fine. He looks a little embarrassed about snapping at you and looks back into the distance. You ever think we'd make it this far? It's like we're either very lucky or very unlucky. Aye, that about sums things up. It could have all gone a lot of different ways. If you're just checking on how everyone's doing, I appreciate the concern. Nothing to worry about here, though. Hogan goes back to staring quietly into the darkness. Nothing you want to talk about? Tired of talk, tired of fighting, just tired of survival. Couldn't the gods have done this differently? Why make us eat in fear and hate? Nothing stopping them from taking it all away. Smarter people than me haven't answered that one. Feels like being stuck in a bear trap, and I'm tired of it. How's your family, Hogan? Hanging by a thread, Hunter. Hanging by a thread. Who isn't? All I can do is make sure they eat and don't get killed in their sleep. If I can't keep them safe, what kind of man would I be? I know what you mean. Listen, I know what you've been through. All my words are coming out wrong. Don't take it to heart. What do you think is on the other side of the darkness? It warped everything coming out of it. I doubt the land's any different. You're worried about Mogan. I didn't want to talk about it, but there it is. What a damn fool I am. I never should have let him leave.
I love my family, but not like I love my brother. Ashamed to say it, but it's the truth. It's killing me. Keep watching the darkness, expecting to see him walk out of it twisted and bloated. Can't sleep. Can't stop thinking about it. Damn it, I should have said something instead of being a prideful idiot. What would you do? Nothing. Morgan's still alive. Sure he is, just like Ivor and the rest. Maybe it would help if I could pretend like you. But so far it isn't working. I'll let you have your piece. Like I said, don't worry about me. Maybe I look rough like you said, but I'm not going anywhere. Not while I can still stand. Jesus. Right. Black soot billows up from ramshackle shelters and is firing to bigger buildings at an alarming rate. Fire! Distant shouts confirm. Serves them right, you overhear a Val say, watching from a safe distance. You realise he's talking about Ruger's loyalists, who scrambled to save their own things from a fire they probably started. Let things play out on their own. No, I'll put it down. A few brave hearts join you, creating a chain of water buckets. It's water you could doubt you can afford to lose, and worse, you don't seem to be making much progress. The fire continues to retreat. Double down and get the Val involved before the whole city burns. The Val hate fire, that much is clear. They mostly ignore your pleas and eventually smouldering embers are all that's left, but not before people burned beneath buildings crumbled. You spend the late hours of the day looking for the bodies. Families grieve over kin pulled from the wreckage. The Val are gathered one of their own, a smouldering corpse. You recognise this burnt face. It's Chris, one of Hakon's warriors. He did this on your orders, one of the Val spits. Came a long way to die like this. Fuck me. Well. A livid crowd of horseborn confront each other. You recognise Canary and Deirdre among them. At the hooves lay victims of the spat. Canary is waving her javelin threateningly. You can't be certain what sparked them this time or who is to blame. Try and find out what happened, put it to rest. Conflicting stories remind everyone why they're upset. Canary shouts loudly at Deirdre in her own tongue, who responds with a dagger. Canary is a better fighter and turns her maid black on Deirdre. The crowd panics. Horseborn trample anyone in their way as they beat a path. Amongst the bodies left in their wake is Deirdre, poisoned by her own blade. You never find out what happened. Come quick, says the bloody guard. Leads you up the wall to the Mendes, worse for the wear. The walk pouring out of the darkness is still mostly dredge, but now you recognise more and more of them as Arbrang's clansmen, turned into nightmare creatures. Whereas, you begin noticing a pile of dead guards and a panicked Mender holding his light against the approaching Wart. Here, shouts Luden. On the other side of the Mender, he approaches with armed men. Haven't lost any Menders yet. We've been fighting them off all the way down the walls, but they're coming a lot faster now. And here's more. I really fucked this up real bad. I've cocked this up. I really, really have. It's a bad time, this. Hey, Ben. Welcome back. I'm glad that the Val will still fight with me. Horseborn there now. What? Shit. Put balls, I say unto thee. I'm gonna keep trying. That's all we can do. Unfortunately, it really is all we can do. My boss. Thinking about those previous ones we did, I really should have just let it be. I chose the worst option in both cases because I'm bad at this. Not she. Noted bad decision maker. Oh no! Oh no, Pixie. I guess I can kind of see that. But also that's excellent and I love it. Dope. Tool or skill things. Poorly designed jeweler's hammer makes up for a brilliant unexpected addition to a fighter's arsenal. Nice. And I've got some friends who are ready for promotion, which would be great if I fucking had the 24 is not bad. The warp monsters beyond the light are becoming increasingly aggressive. Despite the victory, the writing's on the wall. We bought some time, Zephyr says, but this is not sustainable. We're going to have to fall back before long. 2 days is not enough. Meanwhile, in the darkness, we are hemorrhaging people. Complaints of aching feet and sore backs somehow take your mind to Alfred, or maybe you sense something from the corner of the eyes. The dim ghost of a light approaches from the distance, the caravan rushes to it. Alfred is alone. She shakes her head. He was not interested in talking, she says, but I may have been able to lead him astray. You remind the others not to waste this opportunity, and their pace quickens. Warped dredge bodies ornament this hill like cremations, some sitting or slumped or dead. What happened here? Grunts Valgard, pushing one over with his foot. Hundreds can be seen from the hilltop, and they look suspiciously arranged. This wasn't a battle, Valgard says, noting the same. Juno and Ivan have nothing to add. Wait, what if this is some kind of warning for something ahead? Inspect the dredge briefly for clues. The dredge's weapons are stowed, but they each suffer the same piercing wound. They have no signs of food or supplies, and something feels wrong about the way they sit, loosely propped up in a circle, looking at each other. Suddenly dawns on you. Mass suicide. These dredge appear to have ended each other before the darkness reached them, rather than be twisted alive. It leaves a pit in your stomach to wonder if the survivors in our rank might do the same. The caravan leaves the macabre same. Jesus Christ!
The white tower that looked like a toothpick when I first saw it now soars above our heads. dwarfing any structure made by kings or WoW. This is where our troubles began. And with luck, where they will end.
Armies had crashed against the steep black cliffs of Arbrang before it was warped to you now. You retreated again and it was costly, thousands more dead but necessary. Banshee wails went on long to the approaching night. But the Black Rock Wall has never been breached, the Mentors tell you. Even with so many slaughtered, space is scarce. Iron nods when you tell them you're going to get some air outside the crowd gathering halls. Survivors camp in different clusters along the Black Top Rock. You wonder just how many families sewn upon your mind are just memories now. Then you know how strange the silence sounds. The crowd have lost their taste for troublemaking and even the warp are withdrawn. Maybe you're safe up here. Maybe the Menders are right. You know, I really doubt it, but I don't know. The bad is what it is. It's all bad. Everything is bad. It's all garbage, garbage, garbage. Big old garbage is what it is. Fatigue draws you into a stupor. Feels weird to be doing nothing, Alio says, breaking the silence. Spirits low. Maybe this would be a good chance to see how everyone's holding up. You consider it. Zephyr is overseeing the Menders, looking just as strained, if not more. She calls you by name. I've heard more about you since coming to Arbrang. Seems like these people owe you a great deal. I didn't do it on my own. Close enough, though. I wish I'd supported you better at the gates. Also, I heard you travelled with an Varl named Ingvar. That seemed like quite a coincidence at first. You consider what to say. How did you discover this light spell? Not easily. Things went bad at Manahar, and I was the only one left in the aftermath. Spent days trying anything I could think of against the darkness. I nearly gave up, but what Juno and Ivan must have done, nobody thought it was possible. When you become a Valka, are you all forced to take up an oath to be as vague and mysterious as possible? I'm sorry, it would be hard to believe if I told you. Try me. I believe they pulled down and shattered the black sun that resides inside the earth. Okay, I can see your earlier point. Ingvar, do you know Ivar? He is well known, especially amongst the Dredge. They say he once slew a sunder called Ray's, who carried Bella's child. Ruin was Ray's sister. It's my belief that Ruin probably came to Arbrang hoping to find Ingvar. In the face of this darkness, the other sunder was scattered to the wind, but Ruin wanted revenge, even if it meant killing everyone in the way. Are you saying all the people who died in the siege was because of Ivar? And I can only imagine it is why Bellower chased you all the way to Bursgard. Suppose there's no point in secrets anymore. After the Great War, the Valka tried to broker a peace with the Dredge and mostly succeeded. But one of the conditions was that we deliver the Varl named Ingvar. They called him Destroyer. We searched but never found him. Juno and Ivan would almost certainly have recognised him. Did they ever mention this? No, but they nearly let him die on the bridge at Einatoft. I wonder, was the decision truly Ingvar's, or... No, it's best not to speculate about such things. You trust your friend Ivar completely? Can you trust anyone completely? Not in my experience, but it is better than no hope at all. What's your plan now? To keep this light lit as long as I can. In the early days, the Valka had nearly godlike powers. They spent generations obsessed with immortality. It's become diluted over time, of course. Did you know that the Valka race the Black Rock Plateau was standing on pulled straight out the earth? The unnaturally dark rock is the same material Dredge used to make their armour, believe it or not. That was long before I was born. Me, I've learned a few tricks, but all I can do now is share the same blind hope that if we just hopped out... Well, maybe this will be more use to you than me. The Valka retrieves an item from the vaults of a cloak and hands it to you. How long do you think we have left? Not long now. Make the most of your time. I'll let you focus. I only wish I could have done more. What's the present? Show me the present. Who do I want to give this to? You. That's the present. The present is my love. Okay, even. Scrivener's stretching diligently at his papers. He looks up. Scathach halts whatever conversation he and Ubin were having. Hello, Hunter. Find yourself a little patch quiet and don't know what to do with yourself? Something like that. I had the storm, as the poets say. You start predicting the weather when you've been around long enough. Or maybe you just talk about it more. The Orval scats starting notes to talk. Have you seen anything like this before in your many years? You know, I've heard mankind take being called an insult, but I never knew why. Now let me think. Well, the fall of Skimstead was something to behold. Half a city sinking into the Silverstone. And Grothheim was even bigger. But something like this? No, it was not. No, funny how our memories measure worth, isn't it? Remember my companion Gunnoff telling me I look like an eggplant better than I can remember a city sinking beneath the waves. So I like to write these things down. Scathach says something in his own tongue and Ubin laughs. Who says I don't look like an eggplant? What have you been writing in your book? Stories mostly, but not like the Mentors and Skalds, no. The Mentors were outright in the past, and the Skalds write stretched fantasies about what happened. The historical writings are mostly useless, if you ask me. Even a perfect record is only as good as the man reading it. Most of us aren't that good. You mean we remember things the way that suits us best? You can spend a different dozen morals from the same yarn. Indeed, we're all a bunch of lies at heart. I write stories about people. When someone reveals their own hopes and fears, that's the truth of things, even if it's a lie, understand? One of the reasons I learn to talk to people like the Horseborn. I'd like to speak with the Dredge too one day, if they'll have me. I'm curious for more details about Dalaland, the Horseborn's homeland. Why don't you ask them yourself? Ubin says a few words to Scathach and nods. Ubin translates the best he can. I'm a trader. I've travelled more than most and never seen the end of our lands. Maybe they are endless. Men have said it is empty, but they are wrong. They only think it's empty because they move too slowly. When the storm stops, we celebrate. It is a blessing, it is warmth and freedom. But then the shattering split our land into pieces. Now each piece is small and empty. I think men can become restless here. They talk a lot about the brave who try to outrun the darkness. They have already become legend. Maybe they are still running across the Dalaland. I like to imagine this. Your city is heavy and cold and made for men to walk slowly in circles but go nowhere. I would be glad to see the sun again. He looks a little wistful and nods his head to say he's done. I'll leave you to your work. No worries. If you want to talk, I'm glad for the company. Out of curiosity, what do you plan to do with your writings if the darkness overtakes us? Leave it for someone else to find. Ubin's file suddenly falls from his face and he realizes it will come warped. Would you believe I hadn't thought of that? Maybe a Horseborn could. No, not without a mender. Maybe you could spare a mender to damnation. We'll have to live. There's no way around it now. I really like Ubin. I have a real weakness for the circularity of starting with him and ending him. Warped have not been able to scale the Black Wall since coming here a day ago. Many want to take full advantage of the respite, others call it folly. Keeping before watch now means forcing fatigued and wounded survivors to take turns. Some haven't slept in days. The strong protect the weak, let volunteers take watch. Unfair, some say. Life's unfair, reply others. Stress is starting to seep into every decision. Nobody comes away happy, but enough capable men and women volunteer in the dreaming face of a sleeping child to convince you of the right decision. A woman comes to talk to you quietly in confidence. Saw a whole bunch of the fools, she commands. Drunk as bald owl was laughing up down there. Some of the men are stuck downstairs to take advantage of the dwindling mean. Join us, Hunter, they chortle when you go to look for yourself. Can't take it with you. Maybe they have a point. On the other hand, these supplies will be stretched out for days. Before you can pass judgment, a scraping and rumbling grows until it shakes the empty cups scattered around the floor. Flagstones burst and the warp claw the way out from underneath. Terror drags the sluggers to their feet. This must have been what the warp had been up to this whole time. Fuck, slurs a man, pulling a barrel onto the warp and knocking it down below. Fuck them all. Rouse the drunks to stand their ground and fight. You kick sloshed men to their feet, thrusting weapons into their hands. Earn your keep. Fight for your lives, you scream. Men at warp drag themselves up into the basement. An eternity later, backup comes clumping down the stairs. What took so long, he shouts. It's not just here, Alio replies. They're coming up all over the plateau. Amongst the dredge rises the twisted wreckage of what must be asunder. Just its presence makes your skin crawl and your instincts scream. Flee, but where? Send them back into the dirt, you shout in spite of yourself.
Anger
angry honking. Angry, angry honking. Big distressed blue mood. Warped Thunder. A fight of we're all doomed. Shit, isn't it? At least being nigh invisible really doesn't help here. Pierce, like, stop cutting holes in my hack on. Dope. Achievement get. Put an end to the warp thunder. Well, may I just say, thank fuck for that. Fuck, I meant to hit 11 there, fools. Idiot me. Veritable fool. Shit. Aha, bitch. Eat shit. Eat shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yes. Hell yes. Big hell yes. The basement is dark and silent once again, and survivors hustle to seal and cover the holes. You're suddenly glad you saved the mead, because you could use a drink right now. Someone is telling Zephyr that only half the members have survived. 3 days. In the back of your mind, you always knew what it was coming. Fearsome figure stands before the White Tower, before a crowd of warped terrors. Almost started to worry you wouldn't make it, Volvo growls. Knew I'd see your smiling faces again. I was expecting the serpent myself. Serpent carves a path for me straight to this place. You remember the quakes near the cliffs and put the pieces together. Must be getting pretty desperate if it brought you here to deal with us. On the contrary, seems like a great idea to me. Go ahead and try some mind tricks, see what rage really looks like. This is the last chance for reason, Volvok. Your ravens can survive this. They're not mine anymore, witch. You know, I saw this place in my dreams. So this is where the Valkyrie did all their dirty deeds? Stole your powers? Never thought I'd end up taking the Dredger side. Brush Volvok, attacking while he's off guard. You lunge, your weapon arcing towards Volvok with a momentum. This is gonna go terribly. Let's give it our best go, nonetheless. I've heard enough. Yeet! Stay out of my way, Ivor. Shit, rules kicks. Distressed honking. These crystal shards everywhere are a real nightmare to deal with. Everyone, it's really annoying. I'm a little annoyed that Ivor wasn't able to like do the killing blow there, but nonetheless, Volvic is dead at long last, which is good. I am glad to hear it. I should have done the thing there. I really missed a trick. There we go. What's that? Put Volvic to rest for once and for all. Sorry, every so often the audio like goes down, and it's because I get an achievement and then I'm checking to see what the achievement is. You glance up. The White Tower is much taller than you imagined. Tall enough to reach the sun, you wonder? Up trick of perspective? No, there really are that many stairs. Volvic doesn't look right, still as he is, but he doesn't rise again. Raven stare, wearing a wide range of emotions on your face. You have no time to gape yourself. You drag Avon towards the tower where the stairs spiral up many beyond sight, and you take the first of many, many steps. Chapter 22. Only we few remember it now. Quickly, the top of the tower is just up these stairs. This is crazy. I still can't believe that's an actual sun. And you're really going to put it back in the sky somehow? Ivan will. Do you know, there has to be some other way. I can't. You can. We've come this far. Wait, Juno, wait. This is really happening now. Give me a moment. Juno and Ivan embraced one final time. Ivan whispered something meant only for her. And then you were forced to move on. This is highly dangerous.
The world lives or dies here. This is it.
God, I love this series so much. At the centre of the tower, Juno sits upon the pedestal and Ivan reluctantly begins his task. Juno hovers in the air, immobilised. She looks peaceful as if finally letting go of the burden she carried this far when you hear a familiar rumbling. The serpent raises its hatted head to the tower top. It speaks in an ancient tongue as before. Begone, creature! You don't even have the strength to crush this tower anymore. The serpent continues its slow, undulating speech like smoke running over seawater. Ivan stops. He's listening. Gothus farvel. What does it want? It is giving up. It wants to make a deal. Half a prophecy of extinction, it says. The darkness will lift and it will spare an Arbrang. It consumes only half the world. Half the world? In exchange for what? Juno's energy. By releasing to the serpent, Juno will be gone, but she won't suffer. You can tell Ivan is seriously considering it. Ivan, this isn't what we came to do. Things change, Ivor. This is out of your hands now. Tell me why. Have I not earned that, at least? Ivan returns attention to you with frustration in his face. Behind him, the serpent rattles in resentment at being ignored. Why? Because Juno does not deserve this. Don't you understand what's happening here? How could I? It's been nothing but lies and secrets since we first met. What choice did we have? Try to imagine if I told you the truth when we first met. It was hard enough convincing anyone to listen in the first place. Back in Sigga home, when I begged you to wait for Juno, how long did you wait? Would you have been so quick to abandon Rook or Alette? After all I did in Einatov to save the world from extinction, if you knew the truth, you'd have drowned me in that lake yourself. I couldn't even trust you to save yourselves. I wouldn't have waited for Rook or Alette either. Don't lie to me. I don't believe that. What's the point of this, Ivor? So brothers and clansmen can keep hitting each other over petty disputes? So Val and Dredge can go on destroying each other over ancient history? Even after we realised the Dredge were only fleeing the darkness, same as the rest of us. Even after discovering a Dredge child dying in the snow, an infant, everyone was ready to slaughter it like a pig. And what are the Dredge killing ours? So it's bloodshed forever? I shouldn't be surprised. From what I hear, it's not the first Dredge child you've murdered. Is this really what you want to argue right now? So far, I haven't heard any good reasons to care about anyone but Juno. The serpent continues as though restlessly, feeding on Ivan's anxiety. Ivan continues his tirade. We both know how this world really is. Remember Dengler's Godstone? The old woman lies to our face about who attacked who, then she mocks us for not butchering that stone hurler on sight. And even with the truth laid so bare before us, there was a debate. How can we hope to overcome that kind of spite and ignorance? That hatred? What are we fighting so hard to preserve exactly? I might agree if it were all nothing but misery. Do the fleeting moments of joy really outweigh the misery, Ivor? You don't know the depths of it the way I do. There was a woman near Orsma River after we somehow survived crossing the chasm. Some of her own clansmen had tied her to a stake, which, they screamed, she was meant to starve to death. You can still see her face, the torture and the pain. Do you remember how many days she'd stung there, starving, before we arrived? 4 days. You sound so confident, but you're wrong. They told us 3. Maybe those men lied, or with the sun stopped, maybe they miscounted. She'd been there at least 7 days already. I could feel her agony in the tapestry. According to their own absurd rules that proved she wasn't a witch, she should have been freed. Can you imagine suffering like that for a world that doesn't even remember you? That's what this is about, isn't it? This is about Juno. Of course this is about Juno. This has always been about Juno. Ivan is losing control, barely listening. Worse, the cause of the serpent are wrapping tight around the tower. You can see thin nicks of blue flame from its malicious face. We found Juno's body smashed and broken on the frozen sea, saw that same fate for her as that poor woman starving to death. Suffering, alone, forgotten. Everyone else is so quick to give up on her. I'm grateful that you did not, but that's what you're asking me to do now. Don't look at me like that. I know what you're thinking. I know what everyone is thinking. This is my own fault after all, so just toughen up and do it. Hard for anyone to sympathise with what I've done. But maybe you can, Ivor. Bellower came to Einatov for blood. He came after the ones who killed Reyes and his child. When you faced off against him on the bridge, I finally recognised you. The Valkyr was supposed to hand you over to the Sundra as part of our peace agreement, but we couldn't find you. I thought about leaving you for Bellower then, and Einatov, but I didn't. It would have saved countless lives. It would have saved Alette's life. I'm not going to let Juno suffer for my mistakes. Do not interfere, Ivor. The choice is mine to make. Trust that it will be to everyone's benefit. If you try to stop me, I will not hold back. Ivan is turning away from you, his body radiating immense power, lightning crackling and tattooing the stonework with scorch marks. Alfred catches her eye, as if saying, "You see?" She signals a plan to complete the ritual in place of Ivan. If you're going to do something, it has to be now. Ivan, this isn't what Juno wanted. Ivan doesn't turn around, but you can feel his anger boiling over. Juno is everything this world deserves. Instead, you got me, and I will not let you have her. Ivan, wait! Fuck.
This is the place I see in my dreams. This is where I helped my father build our house. And where I buried him. This is where I met Aldís, my wife. And Ivar, my best friend. And this is where Alette was born. I'm home. Is it really you, Alette?
It's really me, Dad.
I'm so sorry, Alette. I failed you. I couldn't protect you. I never wanted this. Leaving you alone.
Oh, Dad, I wasn't alone.
The weight never bothered me, husband. Do you remember when there was a night sky like this? Each point of light is a different fate for different people. I've been watching them a long time. Some people go to prepare for an endless battle. Others go to an eternal feast. The brave go where they want to be.
That's how I knew you'd come back to us.
Wow, this game really... It really tugs at the heartstrings. I don't know. I don't know how if I got a good ending or a bad ending or if it really matters, but the series is really, really good at taking your heartstrings and pulling them to pieces. And you know, when I've passes, I always there with them. I just really cannot recommend this series enough. It's just really, really good.
genuinely cried a few IRL tears there. Just what a good series. What a fantastic series of games that really does not hesitate to take your little heart and break it straight in two. Everything about this, I think it's the story, the characters, the music and the artwork and the settings and the concept, and I have to say, I also really love the gameplay. Was you know, the way that fighting worked at first was a bit difficult to get used to. But like after a while, it becomes easier and becomes more fun. Thank you so much, Pixie. I appreciate it so much. I really, really do. I'm really glad that I finally got around to playing this series, because I'd been meaning to for a long time, and I just really, really like it. I'm sniffling partially because of cold and partially because I don't know, I think it's just becoming a particular weakness of mine. Just makes me sad thinking about it. I like that. Jacqueline Johnson, who said, I'd never get anywhere playing those bloody video games. For what it's worth, Austin Wintory is possibly one of like my favourite music people ever. He soundtracks so many of my favourite games, and I just think he's incredible. Man, it's this odd combination of happy and sad that I've got going on at the moment, where I'm just going to scroll past these. The ending makes me both happy and sad, and this game series is such a good experience. I'm really, really glad that we all got to experience it together. I like that achievement name. You can't see it because the game capture doesn't pick up Twitch, but I just got it doesn't keep Steam. Sorry, I just got a achievement called "Keep It Together." I just wow, what a good game. Wow. I'm just a little bit blown away, just a tiny bit though. But it is now midnight, and I need to go to bed and get ready for Stormblood tomorrow. So I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for gifting me this game, Pixie. I appreciate it more than I can ever really say. And thank you for helping me have this experience and be able to experience these games, which are just truly incredible. I cannot say a bad thing about them. Really, really recommend. So, Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers is out 10 o'clock tomorrow morning in early access, and I am going to be streaming my way through the thing. I don't know exactly when I'm going to start streaming tomorrow, but I will be posting in Discord and on Twitter. And also, I got a little thingy that simulates the announcements you used to be able to make on Twitch, which I'm gonna try and start using, so I'll try and put something there as well. Probably about half an hour before I plan to go live. And I'll be updating Twitch and Discord and that thingy throughout the next week, because from Friday tomorrow through to Friday the 5th of July I'm going to be doing a sort of fundraiser marathon stream raising money for Guide Dogs, a charity near and dear to my heart. There's a post up on my website about it and a video on my YouTube channel, so please go check that out if you're interested, because my command doesn't seem to be working at the moment. I desperately need to go to bed. But thank you so much. I love this series a whole great deal. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.